And baby man, so sweet you're like the candy man.
I've made it no secret how big of a fan I am of the YouTube channel Alpha Ryu Gaming, and if you've seen any of the videos related to Ryu and the gang that I've put on my YouTube channel, such as Why Alpha Ryu Gaming is Awesome, 9 Best Bits from the Gingivitis Takeover, or technically the Recipe for Seduction review, but that really was more inspired by a specific stream that Aki did over on his Twitch channel, Nubian Nomad, but that's beside the point. The point is, I love Ryu, I love Aki, I love Gingy, I love Dean, I love No Signal, I love pretty much every single member of the Haven that I've come across. It's just such a wholesome community. And since I released the Why Alpha Ryu Gaming is Awesome video, there have been a lot of big things that have been happening to various members of the Haven. Aki got Twitch partner, Dean started his own Twitch streams, Gingivitis started to make videos on YouTube. Honestly, I could probably do a sequel video to Why Alpha Ryu Gaming is Awesome just to go over all of the great things that have been happening to those guys over there. I mean, heck, ever since I released Why Alpha Ryu Gaming is Awesome, they're almost at 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. How cool is that? It's so nice to see good things happening to really good people. And something pretty cool actually happened rather recently. And that pretty cool thing is that I actually got to meet Ryu and the gang through Omegle. I just wanted to give some insight to you guys on as to what in the actual heck happened to get me to the point where I actually met Ryu and the gang on Omegle. And the story behind it is actually it's pretty quick, but it's also pretty interesting. So while the Omegle video ended up getting released on a Thursday, I actually met Ryu and the gang on a Tuesday. And apparently on this Tuesday, Ryu was having technical issues on his end, and him and the gang ended up recording an Omegle video longer than they probably expected they would, because there was some sort of prankster guy tricking with their virtual camera, and their footage ended up getting corrupted, and the camera was being a butt monkey to them. So technology was not being kind to Ryu on the Tuesday that I met them, but so Ryu announced through the Haven Discord server that him and several members of the Skittle squad were going to be recording an Omegle video on Tuesday. And of course, I just had to try and use the tags that he gave and go on Omegle at this specific time in order to try and meet them. And it turns out I was able to. After about like an hour of sifting through various people on Omegle and getting to meet several great people on Omegle, such as Makarza and Mike Golden Games. But before I knew it, I wound up running into Ryu and the gang at the tail end of their technical issues that they were having. I kind of fanboyed. Well, okay, a lot of fanboyed. I mean, there was a lot of screaming and going, "Oh my god, you guys!" But I pretty much expected that would happen if I ever ran into the Skittle squad on Omegle. I mean, come on. I could not contain my excitement over getting to meet Ryu, Aki, Gingy, No Signal, Dean, and, pretty much any other member of the Haven. I just would have, I knew I was going to squeak. But anyway, I was very excited to get to meet them, and their camera ended up glitching out on our first interaction. But then a couple of minutes later, I wound up restarting my Omegle page, and I wound up running into them again, and this time their camera did not freeze, and we were able to have a brief interaction. And our interaction lasted for a good 2.5 to 3 minutes, although Ryu definitely edited most of it down, which, is understandable. I mean, with a lot of conversations between, no doubt, 50, 60, 70, maybe even hundreds of people. I don't know how long they record for. He edited our conversation down, but it wound up being a very nice conversation. I got to gush about the Haven for a bit. I got to meet Dean's crab pet Billy, and of course I got to hug Aki, because of course I had to. Aki's such a good hobkin. I love him. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of my story. Even in the midst of technical issues, I got to meet Ryu and the gang finally, face to virtual face. And it was awesome. And I really have no way to tell in this story other than that. Of course I had to throw that in there. So, that happened.